It's been 3 days. Talk to me about thoughts, feelings, emotions. Obviously, you've been talking for a while, but how are you feeling right now? It's been a chaotic journey for you.
I never thought I'd be through anything like this in my life.
Rudolph, young, I know a few young.
I've never seen anything like
What
it.
neighborhood, what neighborhood you live in?
I want to just start off. I'm thanking God for this first and foremost, and I want to thank my attorneys for the amazing work that they have both done. There's no way without them. And then my city, the town of Brookford, they stepped up and they stood behind me because they knew that I was telling the truth, and they knew that they wanted to defend me, and no city does that, but these guys have stood behind me, and I cannot thank them enough. So it's been amazing. But this entire thing, I've said from the very beginning, was a complete, to me, overreach. And it's costed me so much in my professional career. I've got law enforcement agencies that will not speak to me right now. We've had our city been put through things. The city of Hickory won't work with us. They terminated mutual aid. Catawba County Sheriff's Office has terminated mutual aid. And everybody has looked at me as if I'm guilty. And I learned that the system treats you guilty until proven innocent. And it's made to be innocent until proven guilty. And it's a shame. I'm a law enforcement officer, and I would have never done anything to harm that child's case. I'm the only one that was looking into it in 33 years, and that should have been a red flag for everyone. But everybody decided to continue to press and turn this into something that it was never from the beginning. And it's a shame. But I'm so thankful that I've got all these people out here, and I've had, this man right here, Bill Bean, he has been a great role model for me as another sheriff in another county. But my integrity, my respect, for doing the right thing and doing this job to the best of my ability has always remained unwavering and the same. And I'm just so glad that at this point that the judges recognize that, and that I hope everybody else sees that. This is not a normal situation at all, but I intend to make the best out of a bad situation. And I really pray that some of these relationships that have been harmed with our department, with our city, with me, with other law enforcement agencies can now begin to start moving in the right direction. It's time everybody moves forward. Enough's enough.
Amen.
Yeah. Amen. Great. Yeah. And you guys filed for the motion for the judge to dismiss the case. Do you have any thought at all that you actually dismiss it today?
I expected him to dismiss it. If he's doing his job, which he did, I have, a lot of respect for that judge. It's a tough situation for him, coming in and out of county. Tough situation for the prosecutor. You don't have local prosecutors here trying Willie. You don't have a local judge here, they're out of town. And I think he made the right decision. Got a lot of respect, but I expected the case to get dismissed today because it is what it is. The facts are the facts. And so, the whole origination of this case, we're gonna probably explore that a little later. But, Will should never have been charged with a crime because he didn't commit a crime. He's a Boy Scout, in my opinion. It's not in him to, commit a crime, and it makes no sense for him to go out and, do something that would jeopardize the investigation into the death of D.D. Dawkins. It's just ridiculous. So.
And speaking of that case, obviously a lot of this deriving from that. What's your thoughts in general about still trying to?
I think D.D. Dawkins is the reason we are all here. It doesn't stop hitting me every time I walk in this courtroom. It doesn't stop hitting me every time that I think about this case, that this is all because of D.D. Dawkins. And her soul is still not resting because there was no justice. I wish that the amount of hours and manpower that was spent investigating me was utilized with D.D. Dawkins in the last 33 years. And we would have made some major accomplishments. I wish that the agents would have looked at trying to explore a real opportunity instead of deceptive opportunity to try to really help me solve Dee Dee's case, because this family deserves justice, and she's always going to deserve justice as far as I'm concerned. And we've had a lot of things unfold in that case now since then because of the delay and not being able to do anything. But Dee Dee's case always will remain something on our agency's heart and in my mind, and we'll always see if there's any avenues. But I think you heard a lot during this thing that one of a potential person of interest in the case is now deceased, and that's something this family can never get back. So it's something that we intend to remember and just continue to be here for the family if there's any leads or something that comes forward. But unfortunately, I will say, our main person of interest has been deceased at this time, and so you can't fix that. You can't fix that.
Is there anything else? I know you've done a great job too as well. Is there
Thank
anything you'd like to mention or say? I know you gave him a big hug once the case was dismissed. What are your thoughts? How are you feeling right now?
Yeah, it's been a pleasure to represent Willie. Like James was saying, he is not a criminal. He didn't even have a speeding ticket, I don't think. So it has been an absolute pleasure, and I think the waters got muddied a lot, and I think we were able to kind of get down to the bottom of it. And I'm glad this case ended up going to trial, because I think we all learned a lot in what really went on behind closed doors, and I'm glad we got down to the bottom of it, got to the truth, and now Willie can go on. He has a lot of life left in him.
Well, and we still, it's not over at this point. Like I said, my professional career has been tainted a lot. I've been giglioed by the courts, basically saying that I lied, and there was so much mischaracterization in these reports that it really harmed me. And so I intend now to pursue those avenues to get my career back to where it started. Should have never happened to begin with.
That's right.
Okay.
This is a question for either one of y'all. How much do you think you throwing your name in the hat for sheriff brought about these charges coming up to you guys?
A lot. I think the murder of D.D. Dawkins, opening that investigation, was initially on the radar for that. But I think that my name running for sheriff, absolutely. There's no situation in this county where every officer that's ran in the last 3 terms for sheriff, I think now 4, going on 3 or 4 terms anyways for sheriff, every officer has had something happen. There's something going on with a lot of relationship issues going on in here. There's too many connections, there's too many familiar relationships, and we're not getting a fair chance. There's too many weaponizations of the law happening. Every officer that's run for sheriff has went through this exact same thing. So it had a major part to do with it, for sure.
All right. Thank you guys so much for your time.